What's up, fellow Webhead fans out there? This is Mount Vernon Kid, and maybe a little surprise. Wow, the opinion spot on Thursday. Well, I got a lot on my plate today, so I thought I'd start a little bit early. And as you can see, this opinion spot is all about our friendly neighborhood web slinger. And the first thing to kick it off, we're going to talk about now is his new cartoon series coming next year, and of course the farewell of his current cartoon series, Spectacular Spider-Man. Alright, now you all know that it has happened. Spectacular Spider-Man has been canceled. Yes, I am deeply hurt because I thought it was a very good show. Very good show. But before talking about the negatives of it being canceled, I'm going to give you a little bit of positive thoughts about this as well. Okay? So like I said, this is all about Spidey. So, as you know, yes, like I said, on April 13th of this year, Marvel announced that there was going to be a new series based off the Ultimate Spider-Man storyline, which will air on Disney XD. Disney XD, that's where mostly all the new Marvel cartoons that are coming out next year or so are going to be on, besides Iron Man and Wolverine and X-Men, which will stay on Nicktoons, and I think the Superhero Squad as well. But yes, it is confirmed. It is canceled. The show was great. Okay, the show's creators were striving to reach 65 episodes. Basically, it was gonna be three seasons. And Greg Weisman, who's one of the producers, who has produced works as Gargoyles and things like that, did a very good job at pictating Spidey at his young age, just right when he got his powers, 16, 15 years old. He's still in high school, you know, going back, showing how he became the legend that he is today. And I thought that was great. Now, as for it being in terms of great, better than the 90s cartoon, there are some cases where I can say yes, it was kinda, because when the 90s Spider-Man came out on Fox put too many restrictions on our favorite web slinger, which I hated. And if you don't believe me, research it. You can either go, they got all the restrictions, even on Wikipedia. Restrictions for he couldn't throw punches, he couldn't do this, if he couldn't throw a punch, if he threw a punch, it was only to deflect things. He could never hit anybody. If you ever watch the 90s cartoon, go back, look at all 60 some episodes. He never threw a punch through that whole series. Only one episode he really threw a punch. There are certain episodes where he couldn't do that. But with Spectacular Spider-Man, yes, he was going blow for blow with many of his enemies, from Kraven to Venom to the Doc Ock to Sandman, things like that. He really did such a great job on that. The artwork, okay, that's another thing. I talked to my friend Lady G and I, Galactus Girl. We both agree we were not feeling the artwork for Spectacular Spider-Man, but you got past that because of the stories. The stories were so good. Most of those stories that they were telling, images were coming straight out of the Silver Age Spider-Man. Another thing that was great, adding Gwen Stacy as the main love interest. Gwen has never been the main love interest in any Spider-Man cartoon. Go back. She was never the main interest. Sure, Mary Jane was in it, but she wasn't the main in it. But it was a great show. The only other thing, the problem with Spectacular Spider-Man, in my eyes, was also the fact that it was done by Sony. So Sony still had the rights to it, and that meant that no other Marvel hero could be involved on that show outside of the Spider-Man universe, which I don't like. You know, this is New York. This is New York City. All the Marvel heroes are in there, so at least show them, just show a glimpse of them, you know, like the 90s Fantastic Four cartoon used to do. They would show all the other Marvel heroes in New York, not just the Fantastic Four. But since it was under Sony, that was the problem. But yes, it has gone. I'm a little sad, you know, but Spidey will be back next year. I think it's a little too soon, but in terms of using the Ultimate Spider-Man storyline for this new series, let's talk a little bit about that as well. If I'm not mistaken, the Spectacular Spider-Man was already using some of the Ultimate Spider-Man storyline. For example, Eddie and Peter were childhood friends. That's straight from the Ultimate storyline. Their parents died in a plane crash. Ultimate storyline. You know, things like that. There were many things that already had glimpses of the Ultimate storyline in it. But yes, a negative of it, I think, is way too soon. I think they should have finished off the season 3. Greg Weisman said if they'd have let season 3 go forward, we would have saw Scorpion, we would have saw Hobgoblin. Any other villain of Spider-Man's universe we didn't see in the first 2 seasons, we was going to see. But now with this series now, I think that now that Sony has given the rights back, the TV rights, not the movie rights, the TV rights back to Marvel, we might see a whole new ball game, and this is a positive of this cartoon series that's coming out. Here's a positive. Now with it back under Marvel, we probably will see more team-ups of other various Marvel heroes. Okay, that's a positive, like Captain America, or Moon Knight, or Iron Fist, or any other Marvel hero that Spidey has teamed up with. Daredevil. I would love to see another Daredevil team up between them. Get the friendship. Daredevil and Human Torch are 2 of Spidey's closest friends in the Marvel Universe. You know? So I'm trying to look more at positive than negative on this. I haven't listened to anybody else's thoughts on it. I'm not to apologize for that, but I wanted to get this out for the opinion spot. Yes, it is confirmed. It's sad, but you know, we do have some good things coming out for Marvel, especially for the small screen for next year. And Spidey is in that category. We got a new Avengers cartoon coming out with the original founding Avengers, Hulk and Thor and Cap and Iron Man, Wasp and Ant-Man. Of course, we're gonna have Wolverine season 2, Wolverine and X-Men, and the storyline between that's gonna be between is gonna be Age of Apocalypse. Thor is gonna get his own solo series. You know, there are still some good things, but as for Pete, yes, you know, I'm looking forward to it, but I think it is a slight too quick. They should have finished off the third last season of Spectacular Spider-Man. It is sad, you know, but you know, sometimes, you know, you gotta look at the positive than the negatives of a situation like this. Pete has always been great, you know. I've always enjoyed mostly all the Spider-Man cartoons, you know. I've even had some favorite episodes of Spider-Man Unlimited that I enjoyed. the Marvel MTV Spider-Man was okay, but it just seems that, you know, Pete gone now means, like, in my book, they should have finished off. But I understand another reason why is because that was Sony's projects. You know, that was Sony's work. So it would be kind of weird to continue another season when it was supposed to be under Sony, when Sony gave back the rights to Marvel.